Warzone 2. That is a game that we have been playing recently. So I thought I would spend my Friday talking about Warzone 2 and comparing and thinking about how it compares to Warzone 1. And in all honesty, I'm just gonna go out and say it in the very beginning, in the intro. I actually enjoy playing Warzone 2. Far more than I did with Warzone 1. And there's just a couple of reasons why. Starting off with the most important reason, and it's the fact that I'm not getting beamed by loadouts at the very start of the game. Not every single person has their loadout from the very beginning of the game to the very end of the game. In Warzone 1, if you didn't keep up with the meta loadouts, if you were still using a kilo at the end of the game, yeah, you could still get good games, but 90% of your games, you were gonna get shit on because everyone was running the meta loadouts. You would die to the same two guns. If you started playing at, let's say, noon and got off at midnight, you would die to the same two guns for at least 4 to 5 hours of that 12-hour stretch. I'm just saying, that is not okay. The ground loot guns in Warzone 1 were so abysmally terrible that if you weren't using your loadout guns, you weren't winning a gunfight. And if you weren't using the meta loadout guns, you were barely winning or losing gunfights with off-meta weapons. That is not the case in Warzone 2, as majority of the ground loot weapons, with the exception of the battle rifles, oh dear God, leveling up the F-Tag Recon was the most painful thing I've ever had to do in my entire life. But the ground loot guns aren't that bad. The FSS Hurricane is actually really, really good. The M4 is also really good. I don't remember the name for the MP7, but the MP7 is really good. Now there are some stinkers, with the exception, I think it's the STV. I really don't like that gun. It seems like it'd be okay. I'm never able to get a kill with it. The MP5 is also like not that good on mouse and key, but it's pretty good on controller, and things like that. However, you can still get your loadout. You can still buy your weapon at the shop and things like that. You can still get your loadout guns, but it doesn't necessarily feel like a necessity. It feels like a benefit, but it doesn't feel like a necessity. You can still lose with your loadout guns to ground loot weapons. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, another thing that I think Warzone 2 did right compared to Warzone 1 is the buy system. In Warzone 1, if you had a lot of money, you could buy 3 UAVs and get an advanced UAV, rush a team, or you could blow money on like 2 loadouts, get yourself your primary weapons and stuff like that, and get your right perks and things like that. However, in Warzone 2, that's obviously not the case. I think the purchasing of the weapons is really cool. It's $5,000, so it's the same. If you want to buy both your weapons, it's the same price as a loadout, but you don't get your perks, so you're not getting an advantage with your perks. You still can buy your loadout weapons, which is fine. And the loadouts, or the buy station, seems to have a revolving shop. Some buys have armor boxes, some buys have munitions boxes, some buys have durable gas masks, some buys have throwing knives. You see what I'm saying? I genuinely think that is a really, really cool feature because, for example, there have been countless times where we've lost a fight because we've looted everywhere, fought every team in our area, which is cave. We fought every team there, and we can't find plates. Or we can't find ammo, which ammo's a little less because there's that little ammo resupply up there, but we have died because we haven't found ammo on the way to it because we end up fighting a team on the top of the hill and we run out of ammo. Or we don't have plates and we have to manually buy one singular plate over and over and over and over and over and over again, and then we end up dying because of it. Or we don't have the ammo to fight the guys up top. I feel like that adds a little bit more variety into your BR experience. It's supposed to feel like it's supposed to feel luck based. It's supposed to feel luck with a mix of skill. It's not supposed to feel specifically just skill or just luck. That's just not how a BR is. That's why I don't like BRs, because it's luck with a mix of skill. It's not just skill, or it's not just luck. Like, for example, playing Overwatch 2, it's 90% skill, 10% luck. I would say a BR, to win a BR is about 50% skill, 50% luck. Because you can get incredibly lucky and still win against a team that is clearly better than you. That's just how BRs are. That's how Fortnite is, that's how Apex is, that's how Warzone is, that's how Warzone 2 is. So, with that being said, I think the buy system just adds a little bit more variety and a little bit more luck to your gameplay. And another thing that I think that Warzone 2 did fairly, I wouldn't say like this is like a overall plus. I would say it's about an overall like neutral. I feel like the engine, and this is what I'm talking about here, the engine for Warzone 2 is a lot better than Warzone 1, but I still think it has its flaws. Specifically the new CDL skins. Those new CDL skins are invisible. You do not have 20/20 vision. 90% of the time you cannot see them. You can see their little purple strip, their little red strip, or their little green strip sometimes, but 90% of the time you cannot see them. So I would say that that's just a shadowing issue, which, to be fair, if you lowered your shadows, I would assume you would be able to see them. However, my shadows are maxed out, so I don't know why my shadows are maxed out, but they are. So I can't really see them 90% of the time, especially really far away. But I'm just gonna have to deal with that. I mean, I dealt with the rose skin and things like that. I think that this engine is a lot better. However, it did take away the main draw into Warzone 1, which was slide canceling and movement diffing people. You can still really movement diff people, but it's not as flashy. In my opinion, I think that slide canceling was not really meant to become what it became. And I feel like that slide canceling was more of an exploit than it really should have been. Do I feel like it was it should have been villainized and taken out of the game? You could make an argument for it. However, I personally don't see any world where it's like the biggest evil. Did I slide cancel? I mean, yes, but I didn't slide cancel all around the map. There were times where I was just running. And I did mention it in my first 2 games that without slide canceling, the game does feel a little dry at times, where you're just running. You're literally just running, like nothing else is happening. You're just running. So there are times like that where I do miss slide canceling. However, all in all, I feel like the game engine is just a lot better. Now, there are a couple of things that I need to mention that are a lot worse in Warzone 2 than in Warzone 1. I am absolutely surprised at the amount of kill streaks there are in this game. Bomb drone is so broken. There's precision airstrikes everywhere. There's UAVs everywhere. There's cluster strikes everywhere. Even if you're not buying them, they're just everywhere. The entire game is nothing but precision, 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 precision. Now, do I blame the game mechanics for this? Kinda. I think them being able to come out of chests is a little absurd, especially because 90% of the white chests drop 2 of them, right? I'm sitting here thinking, when are you ever going to need 2 precisions? It doesn't make any sense. Most of my gunfights either end with a precision or start with a precision, and 90% of them end with both, or start and end with both. So it's like, Jesus, man, like, what are we doing? Like, it's just crazy. However, I don't necessarily blame the game mechanics. All in all, I do blame. Well, it's not really blaming. I do blame the fact that we know how strong precisions are from Warzone 1. Now, bomb drones, that's a different breed. I love using bomb drones. However, they are absolutely busted. I mean, they full through plates. That's craziness. That is craziness. I understand the logic behind it, where it's like, oh, I mean, you might not get them because you are slower than a player in the bomb drone 90% of the time. The only way you catch up to a player is if they stop the plate up. However, if they do, you're gonna kill them. It's just, if you have a teammate, I mean, all he has to do is shoot them and make them plate up, and it's a wrap. Now, I do love using them, but they are ridiculously strong. Now, another thing that I think that Warzone 2 necessarily did worse is, I mean, I like the aspect of the merging zone, and the merging zone has gotten me 90, well, actually, I would say 100% of my wins when they happen. However, I feel like the splitting zones, it doesn't really make a lot of sense 90% of the time. And I was fine with it splitting into 2 zones, but I think splitting it up into 3 zones just leads to a very weird endgame push. Do I think it's a negative? And not really. I think it still leans closer towards the positive side because it once again allows for more variety and more luck. But still, I definitely think it's a little odd at times, especially when like the merging zone is literally all storm and everyone is pushing for the one building that's not. Oh, those games suck. But all in all, I think it's okay. It's not great. It's okay. And then, once again, I will state that I do like Warzone 2 a lot more than Warzone 1. However, there is one flaw that makes me contemplate whether or not I really do. And it is that TT freaking K. The TTK in Warzone 2 is so incredibly fast. Even when you put into effect melee, there are some fully automatic guns that can't beat melee. Melee is a 3-hit if you guys don't know. And its lunge is disgusting. You could literally put your mouse down, put your controller down, and hit the melee button. And you follow someone across the map. However, the TTK is so incredibly fast, there will be times where before you even get to call out to your teammate that there is someone behind you, you're already dead. Dead in full BM'd. Do I think that guns shouldn't be able to like full kill you without using like their entire mag? Absolutely not. But the TTK, for the movement we have available to us, doesn't match up. However, I mean, to be fair, you can dolphin dive to like the side and plate up and things like that. But like it's like they made this TTK thinking that they were gonna add slide canceling. Because if there was slide canceling in the game, I do think that you would be able to get to cover in time to not die to some of these weapons, but obviously you can't. Now you can still use the regular sliding, but there's some times where it's just not enough range. So that is really, realistically to me, my only negative, my only flaw with Warzone 2 against Warzone 1 is that TTK is so absurdly quick that it's almost not fair at times. That is really, really my only true negative. And with that being said, this is your boy Vipers Drizzy, who actually enjoys playing Warzone 2, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna say that sentence again, so you guys might want to clip it. But with that being said, I'm out. I wish you guys the best luck in your Warzone adventures, and I'm out. Peace out.